Transition.
Do it.
We are now in the spot where you'd imagine that the TTV podcast song would be.
Oh.
Oh, really? No music?
No, I don't have the freaking song, nor would you hear it even if I did.
Fair enough. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TTV Podcast, episode 334. I'm Meso.
I'm Invi.
I'm Phweffy.
I'm EX
No, I'm kidding.
I would join in on that, but I don't remember the TTV podcast song that good.
Yeah, it's
I remember
pretty.
it's cool though.
It's pretty weird coming second. Usually that doesn't happen for me, so I was not ready to step up right after you said I'm Meso.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was,
I'm
that was too
LJ.
bad.
Oh no, we needed to fire up the LJ bot. What did I do? Oh no.
Is it LJ here?
Great.
No.
Get LJ bot up in here. Stat.
Get the better LJ in here, stat.
Well,
There's multiples?
in a manner of speaking,
Which one is the best LJXD?
it depends on your preference.
Yeah, it depends what you want to hear from him.
Some people prefer only a choice selection of witty one-liners.
I'm LJ.
Or that. That too. But no. Hey guys, how are you this week?
I am not very good. I was.
Existing? Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
I don't know if it was a very
So are
eventful
you?
week, but yeah, I'm doing good.
Nice.
tired.
What about you, Meso? Oh.
I'm very tired. Yesterday was my first day off in like 8 days, and it's going to be my
Whoa.
only day off for the next 9 days. So
that was that was summer last year.
I pretty
for
much
me.
just lived it up and watched a bunch of Stranger Things, of which I am about to finish season 1, which
Ooh.
that was enjoyable.
You've never seen
Ooh.
Stranger Things before?
No, much
Do
to
you
the
like
chagrin
Stranger
of Haley.
Things?
Yes, it's very good so far. Somehow I managed to dodge spoilers about it all these years, despite me being me, to the point where I didn't even know what the premise was. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading a comic at the moment called Paper Girls, and it kind of reminds me of Stranger Things
Nice.
a little bit.
Nope.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, yeah, I'm a little tired.
All right.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, you sound a bit tired.
Some of our cast has. Sorry, go on.
Doesn't it feel weird when you actually have a day
I'm
off?
LJ.
There we go. It's working.
Wow, even when LJ isn't here, he's interrupting.
Oh, Phweff.
What were you saying before?
I like it.
What were you saying, Phweff?
Phweff, go ahead. Don't worry about LJ.
I like it. What the fuck? So,
No, I wish.
You were saying something about like having a day off makes you tired.
it's weird having a day off like after you've worked like almost set like a week straight or like
Yeah.
more than a week. You wake up and you go like, oh no, I'm late for work. Oh wait, it's my day off.
Yep, that's totally true. Your brain's
Like,
like
from the
wired to do it.
Pit of your body, you just feel your whole body lurch up and you go, oh no, I'm late. And then you realize and you're like, oh no, I'm not.
True enough. So I'm kind of dealing with that. Some of our cast members are still like they're either MIA or asleep. And so why we have today's cast.
Woo.
I think we should go ahead and mention, even though it won't really affect the YouTube audience at all. So, just disregard us. We're going to talk into our patrons right now. Podcast time's going to be changing to around 2 p.m. Eastern time on Saturdays, give or take. It might be 2:30. I don't know yet. We'll see, but somewhere in that vicinity because Elder's got a new job. And
LJ's got a job.
If we keep doing the podcast at the time we've been doing it, LJ would literally come home and then get like 5 or less hours of sleep and then have to get up for the podcast. So Currently, I'll just sleeping.
Yeah, so
Epic
that would
yawn.
be for my time zone is England. That would be 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Correct.
7.
Yes.
Yeah.
7 p.m.
That's when he gets here.
That's when we're gonna be doing the podcast from here on
Oh.
out.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll be like 9 my time then. So that's cool.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I
Just
feel like
because-
it's the original time we used to do things at.
It's definitely closer. Like it's not as late as when we were doing them like super late. Last year. It's also not as crazy early as we've been doing it. So it's a
Oh
nice
no,
little.
when I first joined it'd be at like 6 p.m.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna save that, Wadon. That is
A giant
is a-
time zone timetable.
that is very handy for planning raids and stuff.
Raid?
You know? Yeah.
Rates?
Yeah, raids in Destiny.
Yeah, cool. Cool, bro.
Yeah.
I love it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, when I
So-
talked to LJ last night, he's like, "You gonna be on the podcast?" I was like, "Are you?" And then I realized the error of my question.
This is not
Rip.
nice.
But I didn't really take into full account. I mean, why he's not able to be on at this time. But I will
Yeah,
not complain about this change. It's probably more beneficial to me as well.
Yeah. Technically, LJ could be on. He just
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
want
it's
to.
not impossible, but
He
I
get
mean,
5 hours of sleep, get up, and then go back to sleep. But I don't want to do that.
that's not
What
healthy.
time would this be for LJ?
Like,
Noon.
yeah. Wait, no.
High noon.
The new time it would be.
Yes, the new time is at noon. Right now it's 9 in the morning.
Okay. Well, that's not too hard, you know.
I
But
mean-
yes, when you get back home
I
at,
get
like,
earlier
5.
for that for Kingdom Hearts, you know.
Yeah, but he gets back home at like 5 a.m. And then
Mm.
we get up at 9 a.m.
Yeah, he gets home at 2.
Oh,
It's already hard enough like trying to
Definitely.
arrange times with
What's
people
LJ
in the
out doing?
same time zone.
His
does
job.
work. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
Oh.
LJ.
Public man.
Yes, but
Okay.
I mean, he asked the question. I wanted to be honest about it. When
Okay.
LJ wants to take control of that, he can give a
Cool.
big announcement.
All right. Well, either way, that's the state of things. Everybody else in the cast is just sleeping right now. So, if you're part of our Patron chat and you want to know the new times, there you go. We're gonna be formally announcing it, like I don't know, in a day or so. And if you're not a patron, consider joining, because Patreon may be one of the only things that can keep us afloat when YouTube kills our channel. As per last week's wonderful discussion.
Well,
I think
it's
I'm-
only maybe, but yeah, it's very highly likely. That
Yeah,
would
like
be okay.
I'm joking. I'm also not joking. Want to join for like $1? Have fun chat. Help us out. It's great.
So definitely maybe kill our channel.
Definitely maybe.
Yeah.
Last week we had a pretty good 2-hour retrospective, which I still haven't put up because I'm lazy.
Wow.
About YouTube.
Wow.
Why they're so trash? Where they're gonna probably kill us. Since then, Jang, aka Jang Bricks, has finally spoken out about it. I think he wrote a blog entry on his website titled "FTC versus YouTube versus Jang Bricks," and it's a very long, post about his side of things, which I was hoping that he would talk about it at some point. I'm gonna read this, or at least part of this, just because Jang is the biggest Lego YouTuber right now, and we were talking about last week. The only chance anything has of changing is if big name YouTubers speak out against it. Jang is he's a big fish in a small pond. He has 1 million subscribers, which is big for the Lego community. It's not really that big for the general YouTube community. I mean, it is, but it also isn't. There's way bigger people than him. You know what I mean? But still, I'm glad that he has spoken out against it. Here's what he has to say. He says, "It's about time I said something about the elephant in the room. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission has determined that YouTube massively violated COPPA of 1998 by flagrantly turning a blind eye to the huge number of young kids using the service with their parents' accounts, or simply by lying about their age during sign-up. As a result of that finding, Google's been fined a pretty sum of $170 million and more importantly, they're being forced to either clean up their act or face greater consequences. As has been the case over and over again when YouTube is caught being criminally irresponsible for profit, they're going to overreact and devastatingly punish a significant number of content creators who have done absolutely nothing wrong up to this point. This time, rather than YouTube purging or restricting all the fraudulent accounts clearly used by kids under 13, as their systems can easily detect, they're going to place sanctions on anything they deem to be children's content. Mind you, there is nothing in COPPA even suggesting in passing that content for kids itself needs to be regulated, or that kids' viewing of that content warrants restriction. It only insists that identifiable personal data, such as names, birth dates, emails, home locations of kids under 13 must not be stored or tracked. In other words, there is nothing legally wrong with the existence of children's content on YouTube, and there is nothing legally wrong with actual children viewing said content on YouTube. The only thing that's wrong is for children to be logged in with an account that's not COPPA compliant when they use this site or app. YouTube's response, to butcher a metaphor, is akin to punishing the baby instead of throwing out the bathwater. It's egregiously idiotic. The punishment coming to an untold number of creators then is the disablement of all comments, likes, dislikes, or any other methods of interaction on content made for kids, in addition to the complete removal of what few outgoing email and app notifications they send when said content is uploaded. Also, marked videos will become ineligible for demographically and behaviorally targeted ads, meaning those that are picked for individual viewers, leaving only those that are matched to basic video metadata like title, description, and tags. Nobody yet knows how much of an impact on full-time video makers' incomes that last change will have, but I suspect it'll be survivable. The notification system has already been in ruins for years, with the tiniest percentage of viewers who want to know about a given content creator's newest uploads actually being told about them ever. The loss of the remainder will be only the last in a long string of slaps in the face on that issue,
Oh, man.
and at least it'll introduce reliability and closure. Likes and dislikes, not valuable in the first place, honestly. They can be sources of shallow ego gratification for folks who need it, or stress for those who don't. The dislike button in particular is a tool that conveys a sense of power to the miserable hate scribers, super minority that deserves none at all. Get rid of such useless numbers, please. Replace them if you must with the audience retention score or some other bounded interaction measurement. Taking away comments, though, that can hurt. For instance, the Jangbricks channel's received over 1 million moderator-approved video comments, and it's very cautious and conservative for me to say I've read over 80% of them. I'm guessing the real figure's over 90%. Comments have great value to me because in this age of increasingly meaningless swipes and double taps and predictively pre-selected emojis, it requires an unusual degree of effort and care for a content consumer to form actual words to convey a thought. This may sound callous or jaded, but it's the absolute truth. The more prevalent, emotionally weightless acts become, the more rare and worthy of note are even the smallest of genuine gestures. Surely there are some places where written comments have devolved to a prokaryotic state, like popular Twitch channels or anything related to politics. In hobby communities where a large percentage of members have constructive mindsets, though, comments are paramount. They're encouragement, valuable criticism, inspiration, checks and balances, guidance, historical records. So many tremendously important things. You kill a community if you remove from it the ability to communicate. Is the 1 million comment strong Jangbricks viewer community about to be slain? First off, I don't know, and secondly, I don't think so. Based on what I know so far, a few of my channels are at risk of being classified as made for kids and subject to the above-mentioned sanctions. Early results from an anonymous poll on my Playmobil review channel, which I didn't know he had. What the heck? Suggest that less than 15% of viewers are under 13 and thus subject to COPPA protections, yet the entire channel is likely to be punished for YouTube for their own wrongdoings. The places where I most actively post, however, seem to be in the clear so far, though like everything in the digital world, that's subject to change at any moment and for perhaps no discernible reason. Then he mentions he'll keep an ear posted. So I guess he's just going to keep barreling on ahead. And honestly, that's the admirable thing to do, especially for someone of his clout and size. It's nothing concrete yet. We're still having discussions behind the scenes based on last week's podcast, as I'm sure we'll be having for the next 4 months.
Yeah.
But generally, my stance is going to be, like, during our personal debates, pretty similar to Jang's. I want to wait and see. I want to keep going at least into 2020. I want to gauge how it all shakes loose. Because who knows? We could be part of the lucky minority that just isn't affected. Who knows?
Or maybe
You
we're
know?
part of a
I mean, like,
majority that's not going to be touched.
It's
That's
best
also
not
a
to
way.
give up until like there's absolutely no chance of it actually working. I think.
Essentially, because the options we were
Because
tossing around is like
you don't
completely.
drop it and give up, and then all of a sudden, like YouTube, I don't know. This is best case scenario, but YouTube kind of like changes it a little bit,
Or a
or something like
competitor
that,
comes
or
out.
we're not affected. Yeah, or another platform comes out, then
Less
yeah,
Ev.
you kind of just shot yourself in the foot there.
Let's have the vessel alternative. I love it. No, yeah, you're totally right. Like, I don't want to end in January. I don't want to ditch Lego. I don't want to be some mixed media channel if we can help it. I just want to wait and assess.
Guys, if we swear right now, our video won't be turned into kids content. I'm just kidding. Don't do
Don't
it.
do it, Eric.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, Eric.
But Jack the Oreo Man in
I-
the YouTube comments. I don't think the TTV channel would be demonetized because you guys don't really have anything worth demonetizing.
Wow.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an insult.
My God.
Or a neutral observation.
Wow.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Demonetizing though.
Demonetizing though. So yeah, that's our weekly update on YouTube shenanigans. Nothing really has changed, but I'm glad that Jang has said something about it publicly. You should make a video though.
I'm glad someone else is more optimistic than us as a whole.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic.
I'm
Right.
pretty optimistic. People still survive on YouTube somehow after how many adpocalypses and all
Four.
this stuff. People find ways to go around it.
I think this is the fourth one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
boy.
I said, it's not within YouTube's interest to demonetize as many channels as possible. So this
Yeah.
feels more because this is the
Yeah.
source of this happening isn't YouTube being YouTube, for a lack of better words. It is because of them being sued. You know, so I look at most of these things right now as smoke screens for them to sort of cover up their dirt, I guess. But, you know, that might be naive to look at as well. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was really bummed about it the first couple of days, but I don't know. I've kind of had like I've directed more of my hate towards Bricks and Pieces at the moment. So at the moment, I'm just kind of I don't know, living through life, I guess. Getting
Living through
orange
life.
in the morning, milk for supper, you know, etc.
Get that milk.
Yeah, man. Gotta get those calcium, you know. Get your
Yeah, like
protein, you know?
I wouldn't lie and like I'm still depressed about it. I'm still freaking stressed, but it's definitely better than it was like a week and a half ago, where it was fresh.
Yeah.
Well, in the face of our financial
Well, everyone's gonna have
prospects
initial
falling through,
reactions.
we got a £2 donation from Roxy Lirak, who said, "I was surprised when Faber liked my Instagram post."
I was also surprised.
Yeah,
when
that
Christian
is
Faber
pretty
liked
surprising,
your,
yeah.
If anyone like
Yeah.
that liked anything of mine, I'd be surprised.
I wasn't expecting Christian Faber to like your Instagram. posts.
What's Faber been
Okay.
cooking up these days?
A lot of Rebel Nature stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
What's the latest Christian Faber bait? You know.
He pretty much has just outright stopped talking about his bio project, and unless there really was just Rebel Nature the whole time, because that's all he's talked about since. When was the last time he even mentioned it? It was 6 weeks ago. Wait, no, 12 weeks ago.
So
back in June.
a few months.
Was the last time I mentioned anything. And someone asked him about it in a comment on one of his posts, and he was like, he made some analogy of like, you know, if people had spilled the beans on Bionicle in the early days, it would have ruined
Oh, no.
negotiations or whatever. So I'm not talking about it while talks are ongoing, basically. Which, I mean, there is some merit to that if there were.
Or is he
actually
talking
talks.
it?
Yeah, exactly. Where you talking at, Faber? Tell us.
All right, so a little follow-up. Once again, thanks Roxy Lirak for the donation. And Jack the Oreo Man follows up on his worth demonetizing comment. He said, "When I say, quote, worth demonetizing, I don't mean it as an insult. I mean it like you guys don't say F words every 5 minutes in your videos and things like that."
Bruh!
That
No, it's like,
That
yeah, that's true. We don't do anything that gets us deserved to
guarantee
get
that
demonetized
We
like that.
can do that
on
though, if you
podcasts,
so
for
desire.
sure.
Go
X.
watch TTV.
No.
If you want to see us curse, go watch TTV Nerfed.
TTV Nerfed.
Oh, I
I'd be
forgot about that.
demonetized as a person if
Yeah, I got
Wait, you got
demonetized as a
demonetized as
person.
a person? They're doing that in UK? What? What are they doing, Phweff?
TTV 334 demonetized.
I
as
got
a person.
demonetized when I left my job.
Oh my god.
Why are they demonetizing people now? That's insane.
Unless you're VAR, according to the YouTube chat. Feels bad.
Wait, bar's up in the YouTube chat?
No. That was the line. Unless you're VAR. That's what the person
Ah.
said.
Oh.
Wadden
see.
says
Yeah.
the thing TTV nerfs is their language filter. And yes. Yeah, that wasn't the intention behind the title, but yes, that does work. pretty
Remove the language filter in the patch notes.
well. Yeah, exactly. Well,
well, is
Oh
there
my
anything else
gosh.
we have to say about the whole YouTube thing? Because
Not this week.
frankly, I don't really have much to say on it.
Same.
Really.
Yeah.
we're gonna be discussing it like every week, but last week was the big 2-hour long roundup. We can talk about something else.
Yeah, I
At
feel like I
this
did
point,
this
I'm kind of
before.
like, well, we're all gonna die one day, so it doesn't really. Everything's gotta end. So
Getting
I-
all
I don't really-
existential. Yeah, everything that we've ever touched, ever loved, it will all eventually turn to dust. It will be as if we never existed. Humans are just insignificant little creatures in the grand scheme of things. Nothing you ever do will have any sort of
Nothing
bigger
matters,
effect
and
on
I
the
love
world
it.
affect you. Yeah, nothing matters. Nothing's worth living for. We're all gonna die.
Alright.
Come watch
really
TV.
matters.
Alright,
To
now that we've
me.
upset and depressed everybody, we can now move on to the next
All right, everybody, get ready for the big end of channel question mark party next year.
the end.
We're gonna reveal whether or not the channel is ending sometime next year. So we're giving you a heads up before the big apocalypse happens.
You think he's joking, but he's not. We're gonna do a end of channel question mark party. We still have like debates to do behind the scenes, but I think one way or the other we're gonna do that. We're gonna have like a big celebration. We're gonna have a party with everybody, and then we're gonna reveal whether or not the channel's ending.
You see, some couples have like a gender reveal party where they reveal if they're about to have a baby boy or baby girl. We're gonna have an ender party. Ender reveal party where we reveal if the channel's over or not.
Party.
But we're gonna have a party first.
It's like we pop the balloon, and if we're still monetized, it's gold. If it's not, then it just explodes.
I like this. I like the sound of this. So yeah, that is definitely happening at some point next year. Can we talk about something crazy? That
All right.
in the Patron
So
chat.
crazy.
Oh boy.
So crazy. Is that the crazy thing that happened in Patreon chat? Just you spazzing out?
Yeah.
Words?
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh.
I'm having
Having a stroke?
So we had just for people on YouTube, this is the kind of fun stuff that goes on in our Patreon Discord server. You can join it at patreon.com/TTV channel.
Did we mention we have a Patreon, by the way?
Yes. We got infiltrated by Sans from Undertale. So
Oh.
someone joined
Oh.
the chat as Sans, and they roleplayed as Sans. And I think it started because they were on Kazapar's stream, and then they followed him to the Discord server and started harassing and stalking him. I think this is correct. Do I have the right idea, Kaz? In fact, Kaz, do you wanna talk and explain your side of the story?
you want a guest on the TTV podcast?
I'll unmute you right now, and you can talk about Sans.
Do it.
Oh.
All right, but well, either way, it was like a whole 2-day long mystery about what his identity was, and all the time he was saying things that Sans really shouldn't know, like things we were doing in TTV chat and
Like our
shows we were
personal
watching
chat.
in TTV personal chat and like messages in TTV personal
Hmm.
chat, which caused the mystery to be about, well, is it someone from TTV? Is it a member from the Patron Chat? Is it someone who's getting info from a member in TTV? Turns out that it was actually the latter, because I was his co-conspirator.
Yep, Meso was the inside person. We knew someone was on the inside.
That's
Yeah.
Little did we figure it
But
was
who was
Meso.
Sans?
No.
We still don't know.
We have a couple ideas. But we don't
You
actually
still
know.
don't know? What?
I tried to get it
No
out
one's
of him.
actually admitted it.
My last correspondence with him, he said, "We left the server. Don't say anything about this ever again. I'm sorry. You've been great.
I know who it was.
I love you."
I know who it was. It was highly suspect.
Oh my god.
Oh!
I said, "LMAO, tell me who you are at least. I need to know." And he said, "I'm sorry."
Forgive me
last
for
thing.
what I must yabba dabba do.
Yep. First thing he asked me to do, he was like, "Hey, so what up? I know you don't know me, but could you give me like a role so I can post an announcement in the Patron server?" And I was like, well, I don't know you or who you are or what you're all about or what you're gonna do in the announcements server, but sure." So I gave him a role and I let him have free reign for like a few minutes in the announcements server.
You
And he
gave the
just posted-
renegade power?
Yeah,
A little bit.
You're a terrible leader!
I'm a
That's
terrible
not
leader.
how you do it! We have a leak. Alright, let's give him power. You know, you would be terrible in the White House.
No, I wanted to post like I'm Sans, and then people would be like, "Oh, how do you get the role?" But I forgot that audit log was a thing. People just, like,
Yeah, you
spoiled
kind
it
of got
was
exposed right off the bat that it was you.
I got exposed very early on, and yet,
Exposed.
even though I did that, and even though it was public, nobody ever thought that I was the one feeding him information. And like I snuck so well under the radar. It was great.
Rip.
It was a funny like multi-day long thing in the patron chat until it wasn't funny anymore, and another Sans copycat joined, and then it got kind of confusing and just kind of annoying, I think, for people involved. It turned into spam. Yeah.
Spams.
Man.
But it was really
had
fun when
no
Cass
idea
was
this
freaking
even
out.
happened.
You didn't see Cass freaking
I
out
had
on
no
Twitter?
idea. I saw someone say like Meso is Sam's supporting scum or something
Oh.
Meso's
And
a
likes
Sans
that.
sympathizer.
without any context whatsoever.
Brilliant. No, I've never even played Undertale. I know of it, but I've
No,
never
I
played
didn't
it.
even know this was going on in the chat. I just saw it on Twitter and was like, probably, like.
Yeah. Cass was about to have a mental breakdown.
What is it about
Yeah,
Sans
I
that makes
can understand that.
such
know,
a
Kaz.
popular character?
You
Someone
it.
explain.
Well, Sans is like a meme. I think that in the game he's like just a skeleton guy who trolls people. So
Oh,
he's
is he like
become,
a Deadpool, raw
um,
XD, I'm so random type character?
No, he's
Undertale fans about to be like.
well, kind of, but like the whole joke is that he's the most innocent like sort of person at the start, and then like if you choose certain things in the story, he just comes and wrecks you.
Oh boy.
He just comes and he puts you in your place.
Yeah, but
And it's one of the
Really?
hardest battles in the
as
in the
Peel
game.
said, if Sans
Suffer.
didn't get into Smash, none of this would have been happened because he just got it announced as like a variant.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, see, I thought
the latest
that was what
Smash.
you guys were talking about originally.
No, that was
'Cause
the
I was
inciting
like-
incident.
I want nothing. I don't even want to think about that Nintendo Direct conference. I don't.
That's
I'm
freaking
so
cool.
disappointed.
Oh, let's talk
With-
about
with-
that.
Oh no.
No, let's
Hey,
talk
Talk about
about it.
what?
I made a joke on Twitter. I'm like, if I swear, if Blizzard do a Bethesda on me, I'm gonna be so angry.
And what they
And
do?
guess what? They did a gosh dang Bethesda on
Gosh
me.
dang Bethesda.
They
The
did a
gosh dang.
without the
Bethesda.
16 times the detail though. They just
So-
put the game on another platform that was unnecessary. In my
So you're talking about
opinion.
Overwatch Switch.
Nah,
Listen.
it's just from a personal perspective of mine. It's really not what I was looking forward to, and if you're happy about it, fair enough. But I'm really salty, and I haven't looked at Overwatch stuff since.
You're a super Overwatch fan who wants lore. Just for people who don't know what you're all about.
So
You want your
I've been waiting
story.
I've been waiting for just anything story related for a long time, and sometimes I'll be so much in bliss because new story. I'll just be like, yeah, this is the best game. I'm so happy. And then like for the rest of the months and years that Overwatch has been out, I'm like, where's our lore? What's happening? And then we find out about some leaks, which I'm pretty sure that they're just saving the story for that.
Essentially, there.
And
The current
frankly, I think it's
understanding.
too late. I don't care anymore.
The current
And I don't care
understanding is
anymore.
that there will be an Overwatch sequel, big quotation marks, that will be announced at BlizzCon. That will be a companion piece to Overwatch and will pretty much just be like a cooperative story campaign.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And that will, but again, the problem with that is even if it is announced at BlizzCon, it's going to be what, another like year or two in development.
It's going to be another year or two because they announced Overwatch with that little trailer of the museum cutscene like a year or two before the game actually came out.
Yeah, so like how long
So
is
if we're going with
how
that
long will the
type of
poor
shebang,
Phweffs be waiting for the story?
Yeah. I
I'm
need
not
to
waiting
know.
for it. I'm just gonna let it pass me, but let the time pass by because like I'm not waiting for this because it's probably gonna. If I wait, I'm gonna get too hyped, and then it's gonna be really disappointing. No
We
matter
gotta
what
talk
it
about
is.
the leak that McCree is a clone of Soldier 76.
Oh.
Do we get to know the
Okay.
deep story
Yeah, I
behind
forgot
why?
about those.
And that
Yeah.
Tracer's girlfriend is gonna die and she's gonna have a romance with
And then she's
Widowmaker.
gonna hook up with Window Marker. Yeah.
Window marker, classic.
I haven't played Gears 5, Hazash, but I really want to.
Peel says those leaks were entirely fake.
Yeah, I'm like,
I hope so, because they were really stupid. They were really stupid. They were funny, don't get me wrong, like the clone thing killed me. And then people were trying to like convince other people. They're like, look, Soldier has the same face as McCree, but whiter. I was like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Whiter. No. I think
But
those
why
leaks
Gears
could
5?
be totally believable. Gears 5's out. It's cool.
Yeah, but have you played all the other Gears games?
Yeah, me and Meso have played nearly all of them except for 2.
How come I never knew anyone else like Gears? How come
Oh
no one
boy.
else ever mentioned this?
Here we go.
Oh, dude, like.
What do you mean, here we go? What does that mean, Invi? What do you mean by that? What are you getting at?
You're only proving my point.
Point of what?
Indoctrinated Meso into the Gears
This reaction.
franchise because I talked about it so much.
Yeah, Phweff's super into Gears.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, Meso, let's play Gears of War, and we first played Gears 1, we didn't have Gears 2, so we went on to Gears 3, then we both bought Gears 4 when it, like, was freshly released.
I remember back
And
when I had
then-
money to just burn and just buy a $60 Gears 4 game.
Oh gosh.
I
Imagine
had less
spending
money back
$60
then, so
on a
it was
game.
the only game I bought.
That's fair.
And it was meh. It was okay. Gears
I
3
enjoyed
was
it.
the best one I played. I really want to play Gears 2 with Meso because it's my favorite game story-wise.
If we can find a way to record it, we should put it on TTV Nerfed and do a Let's Play.
Oh man, that
I don't
would
know how
be
we'd record it,
cool.
though.
That would be... Gears 2 is a very cinematic game. Like, I don't know how it's gonna hold up now because it's quite an old game, but it was the first ever Gears game I played, and it just completely like, yeah, I was completely like, whoa.
Nice. Whoa.
Because
I think-
the origin
Get the game to
story
go
of
on.
how I actually got introduced into Gears was that my dad, I wanted Halo 3, and I asked for Halo 3 like for a year, and people kept getting me like the wrong types of games. They kept getting, one person got me Halo 3 ODST, which is a really good game, but I wanted a Halo 3 thing. So then my dad got me Gears of War 2, and I was like, the heck is this, man? This isn't Halo 3.
Yikes.
And I was like super sad, but then I actually played it and really enjoyed it, so
Is Gears of
awesome.
War a
Yeah.
Halo 3?
Gears of War is the same as Halo 3.
No,
I
Patrick.
didn't know
Gears of
idea.
Halo.
Glad I made my sounds.
Oh no. I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna put this up.
This up.
Gears of Halo.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. No.
I would play that game. That sounds like a fun game. Kind
Uh,
of seems like Saints Row.
Sans Row.
X, what is your experience with Gears
Sans
X?
Row.
0, but I've literally never touched the game whatsoever.
Got it.
I do like. I've looked at the story a lot. I like the
cool.
weapons and all the art direction and stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
mostly the big one is just because like Brick Arms one year, they came out with like an assault rifle that had a chainsaw on, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. I want to know. I want to know what the source material on that is, and then boom, 7 hours on Wikipedia, and that's there you go. That's
really-
good
that's
old
brilliant.
Wikipedia.
Gotta get into it with the chainsaw gun. That's how it all
There's also
starts.
Chainsaw gun is cool.
There's also a YouTuber on on YouTube, of course, called Barricade, and he does a couple like lore videos which are very cool.
Very nice. Phweff, you need to do your Overwatch lore videos before your passion by it burns out.
It's too late, man.
Oh!
You should do a video about why McCree can't be Soldier's clone.
And specifically which
No,
number of
I would
clone that he
rather
is.
try and find a way how he could be Soldier's clone, so then Soldier and Reaper can like have a sort of son.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
This is a Metal Gear type story.
So I could see that happening. They're just like, if that was the case, they'd be like the two dads.
Buongiorno.
One raised
Buongiorno.
him for half his life, and the other's biologically related to him. Oh, one's his father, and one's his daddy.
Oh my gosh. You may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
Straight your daddy.
I love it. I mean, I also hate it. Overwatch is.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad I'm not the only one anymore who like hates Overwatch. I haven't. I love playing it. It's a fun game to play, but just everything surrounding it just pisses me off every time I think about it. The fact
Like
that
what?
there's no story is infuriating. The fact that they rehash the same events like every year with pretty much nothing new for the last 3 years is annoying.
Welcome
fact
to
that-
Blizzard.
Yeah.
The constant balance changes are annoying. The fact that there's like no new game modes that are actually worth anything, and the only game modes that are worth anything you can't play with friends, like Hero Gun Game or whatever it's called. Like, it's just generally unpleasant. But they did recently. Oh yeah, and Roll Queue. It angers me, although they did put in a cool quality of life
Oh
thing.
yeah, I haven't played it since Roll Queue.
I feel like it's
Wow.
try hard mode now, and quick play. It doesn't feel like quick play. It feels like I'm playing ranked, but it's not.
Yeah, that's a good
Well, that's
way to
because
put
there's
it.
very heavy skill-based matchmaking in
Yeah.
Overwatch, because everyone needs to be in their own little pond and play with everyone around their skill, because we cannot have little Tommy over here who paid $40 to play Overwatch and he got killed 20 times in the spawn for picking Widowmaker. You know, we can't have that. That is our consumers, and in our world, the consumers mean everything because they bring the dough, you know. So little Tommy over here, he's gonna be able to pick Videomaker every time and play with a bunch of elbows in his lobby. And then when the events come up, he's gonna spend all of mommy's money on loot boxes. That's how we make the dough here at Blizzard, boys. Oh, Prince, money, money. That's why I don't like Overwatch.
Well, that was a very passionate speech. Thank you, X.
Thanks, man.
Money.
That was very hard to keep that PG-13.
You like broke my internet.
As you can see, it turned her into Phweff thanks to you, X. Good job.
Oh no! I used to be the robot person in TTV. What happened? You stole my lane. What's going on?
They went up making with a bunch of elbows.
Yeah, you know, people are so bad it looks like they're not even playing with their fingers. They're just sitting there with their elbows.
We're tired of people. We're tired of people picking DPS when we need healers or tanks. So now we're just gonna put those awful DPS people into a slightly longer queue, if even that.
Yeah, that's what it is. There is a
Yeah.
cool quality of life change they did make, because I can give them some praise, and that is if you pick the preferred role, aka tank or healer, you get I think, what is it, 25 currency per game?
Yes.
So what that might not seem like a lot, but if you just play a regular night session, you can actually earn a decent amount of like currency to just buy stuff over time.
Yeah.
So there's a dedicated way to get it rather than just duplicates now.
Yeah, like that one guy in John Wick 3 says, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
25
How does
credits, it's a
John
lot
Wick
of
say?
I'm really interested in getting the item.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to have some currency for seasonal events. Because I don't.
Oh
like,
yeah, okay.
They'll have that like one skin that I really want that's like 3,000, and I'm like, I really don't want to play for weeks on end trying to get this. I want to just buy it.
I gave up on that. Like, there's just they always have cool skins coming out, and that's pretty
Yeah.
much the biggest attention I'm getting. I'm like, oh, new.
I had one instance of that, and that was Soldier 24.
Oh yeah, she went all in for Soldier 24.
Yeah.
You're right, X.
Sorry
That's
for
like the only thing
sounding
I
a
pay
bit
attention
robotic. Sorry
It's
for
alright,
sounding a
there's
bit
some real
robotic
passion
because of the
underlying those
internet.
messages, though.
to. Yeah, we can still hear you. You're right though, X. Like the only attention I pay to Overwatch typically is, the events, because there's nothing in the base game I even want anymore. Like, it's a game about cosmetics. I already have all the skins and emotes and victory poses I want, because I just went out and bought them, and I already have the golden guns to the heroes I want from competitive. So aside from just fun, I'm basically just playing until the events, which I get bored of quickly because it's the same stuff, and then there's no innovation, and I hate Lucio Ball with a passion. Sorry, Kaz. Summer Games is trash. Absolute garbage.
Oh, dang. Damn fighting words.
Like the way the little boat that I came in with Overwatch is that, oh, the new event is out, and the Zenyatta skin's really cool. I'm gonna get this skin now. And then they nerf
I'm gonna
it.
get this kid.
And then it's like, oh, because you want to have the really cool skin for that really cool character, but that really cool character that you play is just not good anymore because of a meta shift or something, and or it doesn't fit with the like other picks of your other team or whatever. Like, there's just so many things that needs to come together for Overwatch to work consistently. Like, if you want to play competitive, you want to have a party, you want to have people to talk to, you want to have people who are good at using their classes, their roles, etc., and they don't really just sit there with Junkrat at the back and get gold damage and say that they're really good and contributing a lot to the game, And there's also the underlying factor that console is second-class citizens for Blizzard, the same way that PC is second-class citizens for Call of Duty. They still, to this day, have the pizza slice issue on controllers.
What is that?
Pizza slice?
Just picture your analog stick, you know, and or in the middle of your analog stick, there's a bunch of really small pizza slices, right? And then every third pizza slice, all right, is a complete dead zone. That means that if you move your analog stick over there, it would be as if you didn't move your analog stick at all, and this makes so that you have very imprecise aim.
Yeah, but how many slices in that pizza do you got, bro?
A lot. Basically, there's analog stick dead zones on your controller, which makes it terrible feeling to use with controller. On top of that, you don't have ADS, and this is another reason why Pharah was like the best thing on console for the longest time, just because you couldn't shoot her down because no one could aim for the life of them. She just flew over, just oh pew pew, oh you dead. That's all it was. You know, it was just not a fun competitive experience. You know?
I feel like the control scheme for I don't know. To me, the control scheme for Overwatch on console is like way too confusing compared to playing it on the computer.
Oh well, I mean, I guess what. But
yeah, I know the pizza slice thing. I get what you mean. That's some pretty poor porting.
Yeah, and they even said that like, oh, we
porting.
have help from our Call of Duty people in Activision. They did not have any help from Call of Duty people in Activision at all. That would be, yeah, like it had so much going for it. Like honestly, I was one of those people, being overly enthusiastic about Overwatch for the longest time, just because I was sick of Call of Duty for the longest time. Destiny was in a terrible state because skill-based matchmaking was up the wazoo with that thing. And so I was looking at Overwatch, and when the first trailer came out, even before the random gameplay, I was like, "Oh yeah, Blizzard! You know, they made World of Warcraft. They can do stuff. You know, they can finally, you know, I can put Call of Duty away, Destiny away. You know, it could be something. You know, 6v6, it's cool. You know." And then it just turns out that it's incredibly team focused, and there's a lot of skill-based matchmaking, and there's a lot of other fun stuff in there that Blizzard has made issues, such as, you know, you'd never think that a game could have too many balance changes, but here we are with Overwatch, where they just kind of flip numbers here and there. Like I feel like they're just bored sometimes at this point. Yeah, they're just like, you know what? We're really bored, so we're gonna completely remake how Symmetra works. You know, just because of issues, because of the reasons, you know. And then we're gonna come out with a new character that no one cares about. There's so much weird stuff that they do with Overwatch, but like was so promising.
How many times do you have to completely rework a character like Symmetra before you just realize like she doesn't work? Period. Like they're gonna do it again. I know they are.
They'll do it again.
I know it's gonna happen. They'd be like, "Oh, Symmetra change is incoming, so we're gonna take away the shield, and we're gonna make teleport how it used to be."
No, they gave her shield to Sigma instead.
My God.
Yeah, basically.
Or heroes like Roadhog, where they tried to nerf him like 4 times, yet they just
and then they made it worse.
They just buffed him in other ways. Like instead of being a damage dealer, he's now just basically unkillable with the damage reduction.
Yeah. The sponge.
Healing while moving, yes.
Healing while moving was a big deal.
Reaper, allow us to introduce ourselves.
That's bad.
I don't even know what the meta is in Overwatch anymore. Like, I kept up with that for the longest time. Like, even a year after I completely stopped playing the game, I still kept up with the meta just because it was interesting, and I was just going to see where it goes. But I have no idea what it is.
Dive comp, right? Until very recently.
No. Wait, Dive Comp is, like, in and out of the meta, like, 3 times every month or something. It feels like every other day. It's just like, oh, Dive Comp is credible now, and oh no, now Winston's terrible. We don't care about him anymore. You know, should I pick Zarya? Should I not pick Zarya? You tell me, Blizzard. Just tell me what to use. Play the game like I want you to play the game. You know, because I want to play it one way. You want to play it some way. You know, Overwatch. Yeah, it's a game. It's colorful. Buy your skins.
How you doing today?
I have a lot of energy. I was supposed to make a huge bricks and pieces order, but then Lego was like, you know what? Bricks and pieces, it's going to be up for 3 days. And then the one day that EXX Trooper finally has time to make an order, we're going to close it down! Because you should not be happy! You should suffer!
In In the meantime, buy our Lego Overwatch sets.
Yeah, buy Eva and Reinhardt, and you know, that little scooter with window marker and British biscuit girl. You know,
I
buy
did
that
it.
set.
I did it. I bought it.
Yeah, the scooter thing. I don't know what it's called. But it's like the payload in one of the maps or whatever. Ah, I really wanted to make that order. Just leave that. You know, just
Contact Lego customer support. They can process your order through email. I read that
Yeah.
on your bricks.
yeah, you know, and then I'll order my 241 pieces, you know, of different elements through email, you know, without having to look at the prices or compare, you know. Just send an email and just be like, hey, person manual set up this gigantic order, and then also tell me the price of every single piece individually so I can compare it to Bricklink and decide whether or not I'm going to order that piece. Because that's not going to take 2 years, you know.
Alright, fine.
Feels
Fair
bad, man.
Point made. Well,
Point being, go on.
no, I mean, that's all.
That's it. Man, thanks. I mean,
But
I don't know.
I'm glad that you're not alone in being out of favor with Overwatch right now. X and I got you.
I mean, it's a lot of people. I mean, I think that's like, isn't that the general consent? I feel like the general consensus was just not like Overwatch.
It's
for a while.
difficult.
It's cool to hate on
know.
Overwatch now.
It's difficult to know without having like population numbers, because like at the end of the day, I still find it fun to play. Whenever we're playing it, I'm not like having a terrible time. Game nights are fun. It's just the everything else surrounding it, the meta changes, the balance patches, the lack of a story, the rehashed events, all the other stuff. That's the stuff I don't enjoy. The actual gameplay itself, pretty fun. Would play.
Yeah, it could be. I think another thing with the forced roll queue that I forgot, like, I mean, I didn't forget because it's an essential part of it, is that in quick play, it was always fun, like, say you're tilted on whatever character you're playing and you want to switch, you could be like, hey, friend, like, you're pretty good at playing this role, how about we swap what we're doing? Like, one time, I think I was playing with a couple people in the patron chat, Kaz and Diggy, and we were doing like absolutely terrible, but then I think I switched to playing DPS, and I think Kaz switched to playing tank, and then all of a sudden we won. We like freaking dusted that game, and that wouldn't be possible. That isn't possible in roll queue because you're stuck playing the search and roll. So someone's flaming you for being really bad at healer. It's like, well, too bad. Can't play anything else other than healer.
I've already got that feeling numerous times because I'll play Roadhog primarily, but there's some matches where Roadhog just doesn't work. And like when they have a lot of heavy tanks, and normally like if our offense people can't like carry the weight, I would switch to Reaper or Soldier to kind of do a 3 offense bust down of their tanks.
Yeah.
And they can't do that. That is no longer a viable strategy. Offense people just gotta get good or else we lose. I don't know why I'm saying offense. Attack heroes gotta get good.
Oh, offense was still right. But yeah, I feel like it lacks versatility. Like there's no, you can't temporarily switch up things just for the sake of those instances where people refuse to follow like some sort of a skeleton for a team. Rip that. But that's okay. That's why I'm playing a different Blizzard game.
Wow.
Playing that World of Warcraft classic.
How about that? How's that going for you?
I'm still there.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it. I'm at level 40 now, out of 60. The grind is taking a lot longer than I thought, but it's enjoyable. Good nostalgia trip. I think if someone is brand new to playing World of Warcraft, they're like, I don't know how this game goes. I'm going to try out the original 2004 version. You're probably going to be disappointed, truth be told. I mean, I know some people that are pretty fresh with it that are enjoying it, but I just can't imagine like any of you here would get a kick out of it.
Even me?
It's pretty demanding. Well, I mean, yeah, sure. If you like grinds, you'll like the endlessly pointless amount of quests that are grindy, but
I already have that kind of game. It's called Destiny.
Yeah, exactly. Destiny might have conditioned you for it, but I know that I wouldn't turn around and play Destiny because I'm not WoW's like the only thing I could tolerate grinding at this point
Yeah,
because
like
I've already done
that
it
is-
before.
I mean, that was literally what happened. Is that I tried World of Warcraft very long time ago, and I was like, "This is cool. I love everything about this except the core gameplay." And then I was like, if the core gameplay, if this type of game is out there with a core gameplay that I enjoy, then it will pretty much just be my cocaine for the rest of my life.
And then came Destiny.
Yeah, that it happened, and now we're here, and I just, yeah, Shadowkeep's right around the corner, and
Heck yeah.
gonna
Shadowkeep.
X, are you gonna return when that comes out?
I just haven't really been paying too much attention to Lego for the very longest time, just because I was just building Lego now for the like I had such a great like building spree, like just my Lego building was going amazing.
Yeah.
So my attention for video games was just not there for the longest time. Like video games for me is either like an incredibly addicting thing that I'll do like every single day just to keep my Twitch reflexes up, But other than that, it'll just be like, what, I'm just not gonna do that for like 3 weeks or something. But Shadowkeep, Destiny, didn't care about it for the longest time, but they're doing like a lot of like balance changes. They're making some weapons and stuff.
They're like redefining core systems, which is always fun.
Yeah, but the whole thing, jumping into an arena shooter, getting a kick out of dominating people, how long can you do that before, it's just another thing, I don't know. It's weird, but I say all of this, and then Shadowkeep come out, and then I'll come back on the podcast, and I'll be like, "Yoo-hoo! Video games!" You never know, really. I can't tell for sure.
All I want to know is if the spooky floaty people in the trailer is the darkness or not. That's all I want to know.
I don't know. Whatever it is, they'll probably be some rehashed something by the way things are looking right now. They really love. Bungie are they hold the crown for the king of just reused assets. There's no one out there that can reuse assets harder than Destiny. They literally have an entire expansion that people are going crazy about, in which the core quote unquote milk of this expansion is fighting something called nightmares, which is literally just previous enemies from the first game
that been brought back to life.
Brought back to life with a bunch of red edgy stuff on them. That's the main
down
group.
for it too. I don't even care.
I don't like that. Why couldn't they just do that to some other enemies, like which enemy is up to,
I like the
being
bosses
rehashed this time?
I want to see the bosses again. I'm down to fight Crota in D2. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't know. Like the biggest core thing for me in Shadowkeep is just that high impact pulse rifles will be a consistent 2-hit burst. So
Wow.
two biggest thing for me. That means Redrix will.
As Leo says in the chat, my Vex time is coming. Meso, who cares about them being the darkness? Vex milk is coming.
Do love milk, but I mean, yeah, it's a Destiny expansion, and we shall see. I'll keep my Destiny discussioning in to a minimum.
All I know is bows are getting a 30% damage buff in PvE.
We're not gonna get the patch notes. We don't want to put Invi and Phweff to sleep.
30% damage buff for bows.
They're still gonna be terrible. Bows will never be meta. Meso, never.
Hey, Haley, you hear that? Calling out to Haley out there.
No, pancakes are not getting buffed. Everything Leo is getting nerfed because everything else, no, bows too. Everything will be doing lower damage because they're removing the double crit modifier on
and
red
Well
bar
Radiance
mobs.
and all that reloading weapons, Lunafactions.
Yeah, that too, but that's just not made. You know what? Let's not.
All right.
You
Do you guys like
can talk
fruit?
about.
What is your guys' favorite fruit?
Post in the comments. No, I'm kidding.
Post in the comments about your favorite fruit if it gets the most
Do the
upvotes.
mangosteen dance, everyone. Mangosteen.
Yeah. If it gets the most upvotes or thumbs up, whatever they call it, we will talk about the fruit, and we'll compare it to other fruit or something. I don't know.
If you made it. Sorry. If you post about fruit in the comments, we'll know you're a true fan that stuck it out to listen to this freaking podcast for this long. So hats off to you if you post about fruit.
And with that note, let's go ahead and wrap up this podcast
It's
episode.
already been that long?
Yeah. Yes. I got
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
for work.
Yeah. We're
That's
actually
crazy, man.
So,
we're actually at the end. Give me a uno momento. We're gonna prep for this wind down.
Are we gonna do
All
the
right.
song?
Killacar
Now-
says D2 podcast or I drop donating. Well,
We'll do D2
So you gotta do
podcast
it.
when Shadowkeep comes out with like Keeney and LJ.
me, you, Haley, and Keeney. So,
Oh yeah, Haley.
Oh boy, can't wait for the Destiny 2 TTV podcast episode.
Yeah, right. It'll be fun.
Snoozer. No, I'm kidding.
all right.
All right, now imagine this is where the outro music would be.
My God. This week's patron shout out is going to go to the Mega Stand Man.
Oh
AKA
man,
Diggy.
Oh,
Diggy.
is he a Mega Stan?
That's his
Mega
name on there.
Stan.
What does he stand?
He's a
for?
Mega
K-pop?
Man stan, so he's Mega Stan Man.
Okay. Nice.
Mega Stand Man, Stan the Man, Dan.
Mega Stan man. Banana.
Mega
I
Stan
don't.
Man.
I don't know who I am anymore.
We'll see you all.
Thank
next
you for
week's
watching.
Podcast. Thank you for watching. I'm Meso.
I'm Invi. Dang it, did it again.
I'm Phweffy.
I am EXX Trooper.
And I hope you have a good time, X. I hope you calm down. I hope you're great.
Oh yeah.
Ulti, I see that it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Ulti.
We're gonna
Oh, yeah.
party like
Shout
it's
out
your
to Old
birthday.
Man.
Shout out
Party,
to
party,
Ulti.
party,
Party.
party,
Happy
All right.
birthday.
Thanks
You're
again for watching. We're transitioning out now.